channel. So as I announced on my Instagram, I'm going to talk about weight redistribution today because I figured that this is a very crucial part of recovery and a very important topic to know about because it's quite often misunderstood, and this leads to an ongoing restriction and an ongoing eating disorder, which we obviously don't want if you want to fully recover. So yeah, just let's directly go into it. So in the beginning of recovery, weight gain is a crucial part because if you suffer from anorexia, you're usually severely underweight if you start recovery. What most of us experience is that we primarily gain weight in the abdominal region, so on our stomach, when we start recovery. And this is very triggering because usually we have a bloated stomach anyway because of digestive issues. We don't like our stomach, we're extremely sensitive to our stomach, and that all the way just goes to our stomach. So this is super triggering. However, there's a simple biological fact behind it, and once you know it, it's, from my perspective, much easier to deal with it and much easier to keep going with recovery because that is what we need to do. So the biological thing behind it is that when we start recovery, our body is still in starvation mode. Starvation is a really stressful thing for our body. So what they found in studies, so I digged into some research papers, some medical papers, and read them through in order to give you kind of an overview about their results. So what was actually found in studies is that in anorexia patients, the level of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, is really, really high. Which makes sense because, as I said, starvation is stress for our body. So this hormone is really, really high, and sexual hormones are really, really low. Cortisol automatically leads to fat gain in the abdominal region. I will not go into the exact pathways why this is happening in the abdominal region, but just keep in mind cortisol, which is the stress hormone, leads to fat gain in the abdominal region. However, this exactly automatically brings us to the point of weight redistribution. So once we understood that the abdominal fat gain is primarily to a very high cortisol level in our body, we can conclude from that weight redistribution is only happening if the cortisol level is going back to a normal level and the sexual hormones are going back to a normal level. This can only happen if we keep gaining weight. Obviously, right? Because this is the only way to get your body out of the starvation mode. This is the only way to get your body out of this stressful phase. So if you keep going with weight gain, weight redistribution will happen. And I can tell this for myself. I ran through it in my first recovery and I experience it now after the recovery of my relapse. So weight redistribution happened after I reached a weight that for my body is healthy. So I'm not talking about the BMI range, I'm not talking about the BMI set of like 80.5 or something. I think that's way too low. But I reached the point where my body is feeling well. And actually I just know that because once I gained this weight, I kind of had my personality back, which sounds super weird, but that's the way it feels. So when I got to this weight, which was like about 1 month ago, I felt I was Johanna again, which is awesome. I can't really tell, but yeah. So and that's actually when weight redistribution started. So it was just 1 month ago that I could actually go to the mirror and look at me, and it was like, wow, your arms are starting to look normal again, like your legs are looking normal again, like everything kind of looks like a human being. Before, my arms were looking gross, like I had a lot of abdominal fat, also my legs were getting more normal, but my arms, like I can't really tell, like they looked like chicken arms still, although I was at healthy weight even before. So why am I telling this? Basically because most of us are always asking ourselves how we can make the weight redistribute because we're feeling so uncomfortable. The only answer to this is you have to gain weight, you have to keep gaining weight, you have to reach a weight what is healthy for your body. Important, I'm stressing the your body. You have to reach a weight on which your hormone levels are on like normal again, and you have to de-stress, because if you're under constant stress in your recovery and if you don't try techniques to de-stress, your cortisol level is still quite very high, so it might prolong the time until your weight is redistributing. Weight redistribution is a really nice thing, however you have to be extremely patient until you finally get there. So it can take 1 year, it can take 2 years, it can even take 3 years. It really depends on how your hormone levels were when you started recovery. It depends on how much you're gaining, it depends on how fast you're gaining. It depends on so many things. It's different for everybody, but it will redistribute. And I think this is one of the most liberating things to know that it will redistribute. Because if you're staying in quasi recovery and you're kind of holding your body back from gaining more weight and your body is still not on its healthy weight, and weight redistribution is not happening, and moreover you're not fully recovered. So yeah, that's just that. Nevertheless, you still have to endure this, and I think that is super hard. What I used to do, I just wore clothes that were not tight fitting. So especially in the stomach region, I was really insecure, and I still am. So I usually wear clothes that kind of hide my stomach, and I think that's okay. You don't have to present something that you feel uncomfortable with. I'm not saying that you can't. If you want to challenge yourself, just do that. I found it more helpful to kind of be distracted from it and not look at it, and yeah, just accept it. That is a necessary part to get healthy again. Oh yeah, there's one other thing that I quickly wanted to mention, and that is the influence of exercise on weight redistribution. And that is really interesting. It was shown in studies that the abdominal fat gain is even higher when the patients were exercising before they went to treatment and during treatment. And this is actually super interesting, because it completely goes against every anorexic mindset that we might have in the beginning of recovery. And just acknowledging this, that exercising is actually increasing our abdominal fat instead of decreasing it, I think it's a nice fact to know. The reason is that exercise for a starving body is stress. It's super stress. So obviously your cortisol levels are even higher, so you're gaining more abdominal fat. I have to turn on the light. That's okay. Okay, yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to talk about concerning weight redistribution. And recovery can be so much easier if once you know those things. And now I want to do a little exercise with you guys. So please get out a pen and get out something to write. And I have to get it myself, so. Okay, so I got a paper, I got a pen, and I hope you did as well. So now I would like you to write down at least, I'm saying at least, 5 reasons why you are recovering. 5 biggest motivations why you want to recover. And I will give you some minutes, and yeah, it could be more, but at least 5. So yeah, I will do this as well. Okay, I'm done. I hope you're too, if you're not, just continue writing. So I have a bunch of things. I actually found 11 points. And I think if I rethink about it, I will find even more. So yeah, that was a little exercise I wanted to do with you guys. And in the next video, I'm going to read out my bullet points that I wrote down here, my biggest reasons and motivations why I chose recovery. And I would like to do kind of an exchange, so you can either DM me on Instagram, or you can write me a message on YouTube where you're telling what you've written down, and I will, if you allow me, I will read those points out. And yeah, the whole video is going to be a motivational video, and let's see how this goes. I find it really important, and yeah, I hope you like this idea, and I hope you're joining. So yeah, just DM me, just write me on YouTube, whatever you'd like to do, or just let me know in the comments. Okay, so we're done for today, and I must say I'm sorry if parts of the video were a bit unstructured or I seemed a little bit confused. This might even be true because I was and I still am super busy. University is quite hard these weeks, but we're getting through it. And yeah, I have to say I'm at a better stage mentally and physically than I have ever been, so probably I will manage. I also just came back from work, so I'm a little bit tired, but that's just the way it is. I'm a human being, and I'm not perfect, right? I still really wanted to make this video because I find it super important to get these videos out, and I hope that you like it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and feel free to ask everything and anything. I'm going to do a video on extreme hunger. I was asked for that. However, I want to do really good research for that one. So I found papers that I want to read, but as I said, I did not get through them yet, so. But I will, I promise. So I will see you guys in the next video. I hope that I will get a lot of DMs and comments about your motivations and reasons to recover. And I'm looking forward to the next video. See you.